This is the Element Cup Simplified. If you're not aware already, the Element Cup starts today, June 28th, and runs until July 12th in Go Battle League in Pokemon Go. If you don't know what the Element Cup is, it is a little cup type format, so 500 CP Pokemon and below, using pre-evolution Pokemon of an evolutionary line. So think Bulbasaur, not Venusaur, and it's also limited by type. Only fire, water, and grass type Pokemon are eligible in the Element Cup. So to help you guys navigate this cup more easily, I have the updated Element Cup Meta Simplified video here for you to help you out. Now, if you do want some canned teams for the Element Cup, I will be talking about some example teams in this video, but the Element Cup Best Teams video, I am going to be putting that up either later tonight or early tomorrow. Basically, I have everything I want for the quote-unquote best teams already built, so I figured why not show you those teams in action in GBL while I also describe them to you. So I will talk about some of the teams here, but if you do want to see the best teams in action, that video is coming out tomorrow. Also, this Element Cup Meta Simplified infographic is made by the Lorma96 from the Game Press crew. If you want to check out the article that accompanies this graphic, link in the description to that. This video is basically going to be the Spark Notes version of the article, but if you do want more details on any single one of these Pokemon, definitely check out the article, link in the description. So first things first, we gotta talk about Ducklett. Ducklett is the #1 Pokemon in the Element Cup. If you know anything about the Element Cup, you're already aware, but if you're not, what makes Ducklett good? Well, it is a sub-flying type Pokemon, so it isn't weak to grass type attacks, and then it also has flying type attacks, so it can hit grass type Pokemon back with super effective damage. So it's effectively the water type Pokemon that can beat the grass type Pokemon, which is pretty big. And on top of that, a lot of water type Pokemon can't overcome the Ducklett, so Ducklett can beat all the water type Pokemon for the most part. And then it also beats fire type Pokemon because it's a water type Pokemon, so Ducklett is kind of the apex predator of the Element Cup. Now, there is a little bit of debate on the Ducklett moveset. We have Wing Attack, we got Brave Bird, that's the bread and butter, but are we going to go with Aerial Ace or Bubble Beam? Bubble Beam is a better bait move, and it does help you cover the fire type Pokemon a lot more easily, but Bubble Beam is completely worthless against grass type Pokemon. And if any grass or water type Pokemon call the Bubble Beam bait, well, you're going to be in a tough spot with your Ducklett there. Alternatively, if you run with Aerial Ace, you will have a more consistent matchup against grass type Pokemon because you don't have to sacrifice your defenses for the Brave Bird, and you still do hit the fire type Pokemon pretty hard. It's just that the fire type Pokemon can get some interesting opportunities to overcome you with their neutral body slam damage should you not be hitting them fast and early with the Bubble Beam. Do you need Ducklett to perform well in the Element Cup? Not exactly. Ducklett may be the best Pokemon in the Element Cup, but there are plenty of good teams that can function without Ducklett, so don't stress out too much if you don't have Ducklett or you don't have a good IV Ducklett for the Element Cup. Ducklett is an option. It's a very powerful option, but it's not exactly mandatory. Then lumped in with the Ducklett here, we do have Seel. Seel is another water type Pokemon, and unlike Ducklett, Seel functions more as a safe swap type of option there, being able to use Icy Wind to debuff its opponents, and then you've got the Aqua Tail to keep that pressure on the fire type Pokemon. When it comes to the fast move of choice for Seel, you do have Lick and Ice Shard to choose between. I'd say Lick is kind of the big brain option because it can overcome the few Psychic type Pokemon in this cup, and then it does give you a better hit against fire type Pokemon. For example, the quick attack Vulpix can take out Seel if Seel doesn't have Lick, and it gives you a better option against Chinchou. That said, using the Ice Shard does give you a better Ducklett matchup, and it gives you a better hit against grass type Pokemon, and then you're probably going to be beating the fire types anyways, so you know, what's the point? So I'd say it's up to you. I'd say general meta, just solid. You're not too sure about Seel option, I'd probably go with the Ice Shard, but if you are a bit more comfortable with the Seel and you are concerned about some of the Psychic type Pokemon that are out there, then go with the Lick. So what is the best counter to the Ducklett here? Well, of course, we have Chinchou. Chinchou is the only electric type Pokemon in this cup and is one of the few Pokemon that even uses electric type attacks in this cup. So yeah, what's going to beat the water flying Pokemon? It's going to be the electric type Pokemon. A bigger claim to fame too is because of the electric subtyping, it is one of the few Pokemon in this cup that can also tank a Brave Bird, making it, I think, the only big Ducklett counter that can actually survive, can actually no shield a Ducklett. So that's pretty interesting for the Chinchou there. Personally, I feel like Chinchou might be a little overrated because if you don't line it up against a Ducklett, then it kind of does fall a little bit soft in this cup. I mean, you can overcome the fire-type Pokemon with your bubble damage there, but if you are up against a quick attack Vulpix specifically, well, and that's like the best fire-type Pokemon in the cup, spoiler alert, it does have the opportunity to take Chinchou down. So Chinchou is kind of locked into only really being a Ducklett and Seel counter, which can be kind of rough, especially if your opponent isn't running Ducklett or Seel. So there is a little bit of risk, but there definitely is a reward to using the Chinchou. As far as Chinchou teams are concerned, I feel like if you are going to bring Chinchou to the Element Cup, you're going to want to run it in the lead, not in the back, because if people are leading with Water-type Pokemon, well then, you just have to get swap advantage, which is pretty easy in the Element Cup. I mean, it is Fire, Water, Grass, Rock, Paper, Scissors there, and you can keep your Chinchou lined up with them. And then if they don't lead with a Water-type Pokemon and you swap into whatever you're going to swap into, well, that's going to incentivize your opponent to bring out their Ducklett right away, knowing that Chinchou is there to hard counter it in the back, which could put you in a better position for the end game there, having their Ducklett taken out earlier on in the battle. So who to pair with Chinchou in the back? Well, Vulpix obviously is a pretty solid option with either the Ember or the Quick Attack moveset. And then for the second Pokemon, probably a solid Grass type would work. The #1 team rated on PvPoke's training analysis is the Chikorita with the Vulpix, with the Chinchou there, so take that for what it's worth. I think the #4 team featured too uses 2 Fire-type Pokemon, so that is another option to consider. Just know that this is a hard Rock, Paper, Scissors type Pokemon, so it can win in that hard Rock, Paper, Scissors type way, but it can also lose in the hard Rock, Paper, Scissors type way too, so do be a little cautious when it comes to running Chinchou, should you want to run Chinchou. By the way, if you want even more information on these Water-type Pokemon, I do have a top 5 Water-type Pokemon for the Element Cup video already made, link up above and in the description, covering these Water-type Pokemon and 2 other really good Water-type Pokemon for the Element Cup. So moving right along, what beats Chinchou? Well, we got the big Grass-type Pokemon. And the big Grass-type Pokemon are extremely good in the Element Cup. They're so good that you may even want to consider running a triple Grass-type team because Grasses are just so powerful. They have the ability to overcome the Ducklett. Ducklett can beat them because it's using Flying-type hits, but the Grass types are often a little bit faster or sometimes a little bit stronger than the Ducklett, allowing them to subdue the Ducklett in some scenarios. So Grass types, really freaking good. And then on top of that, they just completely dominate Chinchou. Like, the reason why you wouldn't run Chinchou all the time is because Grass types, they're out there, man, and they just completely dominate and destroy Chinchou. So yeah, Chinchou does not like seeing Grass type Pokemon. When it comes to the Grass types, I'd say the 3 best options here are going to be the Cottonee, the Bulbasaur, and the Chikorita. Cottonee uses Charm. Cottonee is one of the bulkiest Pokemon in the entire Element Cup, so it's able to charm things down that you might not even think that it could. Like, a lot of Fire-type Pokemon end up getting charmed down by Cottonee, which is just kind of disgusting. Then you've got the Chikorita here. Chikorita's got Body Slam and Vine Whip, so it is extraordinarily fast, and it is very tanky too, so it's able to subdue a lot of things just from that fast Body Slam damage there. And then you got Bulbasaur, and Bulbasaur's got Vine Whip with Sludge Bomb, which can close out a lot of fights, so it's a really good closer, a really good swap in too, so you can get shields by throwing that Sludge Bomb of Doom there, and it's sub-poison type, so it does have a better time fighting the Cottonee. If you want an example team of a triple Grass team, I was in the Speediest Chief's live stream last night, and I saw him running a Razor Leaf Lotad with Cottonee and I believe Bulbasaur in the back there. And it was getting him some interesting wins. Personally, I wouldn't feel super comfortable running triple Grass because Fire types are out there, and all it takes is one fire-breathing Fire-type Pokemon to, set your Grass-type team ablaze. So I wouldn't be super comfortable running triple Grass myself. Double Grass, though, Double Grass is pretty powerful as either an AAB line or an ABB line. Grass types are just that good, and because of the way this cup is set up, the Grass types are often very versatile. By the way, if you want some more information on Grass type Pokemon for the Element Cup, I do have a top 5 Grass type Pokemon for the Element Cup video, link up above and in the description if you want more details on these Grass type Pokemon, and one other interesting spicy Grass type Pokemon not featured here on the graphic. Come on, Lorma, get it together. Oh wait, no, it's featured on the graphic, it's just not green. I'm dumb. But learn up about them. And finally, we have the Fire-type Pokemon. And the Fire-type Pokemon have it pretty rough I guess in Pokemon Go in general, a lot of their stats don't translate super well into Pokemon Go, so they are a little bit more on the fragile side, typically in PvP. And then Fire-type moves really aren't all that great either, which also hurts the Fire-type Pokemon. It also doesn't help that, the best Pokemon in the cup is a water type, and the best counter to that Pokemon is also a water type. That also doesn't help the fire type position either. So, fire types, should you consider building them? Yeah, absolutely, because grass types are super dominating in the Element Cup. I do expect to see a lot of double grass lines, and fire type Pokemon beat grass type Pokemon. So, what more do you need to know about that? Now, when it comes to the best fire type Pokemon overall, it's going to be Vulpix. Vulpix has the highest stat product of all the fire type Pokemon that are good in the Element Cup here, and then it's got Body Slam, just like Growlithe does, just like Tepig does. It's got Body Slam, and it's got Ember, just like them two, same moveset, and then it also has Weather Ball Fire, which is a better fire-type charge move than what these two are packing. And then on top of that, and the biggest detail of all when it comes to Vulpix, is that you can also run Quick Attack as your fast move, which is basically the normal type version of Wing Attack, which hits everything for the most part in the Element Cup for neutral. So using Quick Attack Vulpix as your safe swap option is pretty good, because even if you are pitted up against a water type Pokemon, they're not going to want to really deal with you because of that Quick Attack Body Slam action. In fact, you can overcome the Ice Shard Seel, and in some circumstances you can overcome Spark Chinchou. So Vulpix, really aggressive Pokemon. Of course, if you want to know the merits of the other fire-type Pokemon and some more details on them, I do have, link up above and in the description, the top 5 fire-type Pokemon for the Element Cup. There are some reasons why you may want to consider using Tepig, there may be some reasons why you'd want to consider using Growlithe, and then I cover 2 other fire-type Pokemon in that video as well, so make sure to check that out. And then when it comes to using fire types in the Element Cup, typically you're going to use them as a hard counter to grass types or as like a safe swap because they got the Body Slam, most typically using the Vulpix with the Quick Attack action. So any team, you can think about using Quick Attack Vulpix in the back as a safe swap option or a hard counter. Works out pretty good. So with the basic meta out of the way, let's talk about the spice options. First up, we got Exeggcute and we've got Slowpoke. These two Pokemon are kind of like the smart guy version of the Cottony here because they use confusion damage, not charm damage. So charm is resisted by poison and fire. Confusion is basically resisted by nothing in the Element Cup. So they can definitely punch through things a little bit harder, maybe a little bit better than Cottony can sometimes. The main drawback to them though, compared to the Cottony is much more bulky and charm is technically a better move. So with that power and that bulk that Cottony has, it's able to charm down things that you wouldn't think it could. So these guys may be the smart guy version, but Cottony is definitely like the solid Unga Bunga Smash type Pokemon for the Element Cup here. Other benefit that they have is that they carry psychic type charge moves, which basically everything in the cup is going to want to shield. So if they are able to confusion something down and they got a charge move ready for the next thing that comes in, then they can just belt that out, either dealing mass damage or getting a shield from your opponent. So both these Pokemon are very threatening, and I cover them both in more detail in my top 5 videos. Then next up, we gotta talk about the Mud Boys. We got Wooper, and we got Barboach. And I'm not a big fan of the Mud Boys here. I guess the key advantage that they have is that they harass the Chinchou, and they harass Fire-type Pokemon really well. So if you pit them up against either of those two, then you're gonna come out ahead in a pretty big way. But the big problem that they have is that grass-type Pokemon just kind of obliterate them. I mean, double weak to grass-type attacks, like the fast moves that they're using, yeah, that's not good. So I feel like it's a little bit too risky to bring these guys. Some of you may be more comfortable with it, and if you are, kudos to you. I'm personally not, so that's what I gotta say about the Mud Boys here. Then next up, we got Tentacool. Tentacool, I'm not too sold on either. I guess the whole idea is that it's a safe swap neutral type Pokemon. It's not weak to grass type Pokemon. It's got Poison Sting for the rapid energy gains, and it's got Wrap for good neutral damage. But Wrap ain't no Body Slam, so I feel like more often than not this thing's hitting a little bit too softly to stand out in the Element Cup. But you do got that fast move damage on the Cottony there, so that is something to consider. Then we got Carvanha. Carvanha's nasty, man. That bite damage is insane. And yeah, that's the whole name of the game for Carvanha here is just coming in and biting stuff down. The main way you're going to want to use it is kind of like as a dive KO Pokemon. That's what I'm going to call it, the dive KO Pokemon. You swap it in on a Pokemon that's already weakened, and then you just bite it down before they can reach their next charge move, which can put you ahead, which is pretty nice. Does it always play out that way? No, definitely not. and anything that has a super effective fast move hit on Carvanha is probably going to take it out in just a few fast moves, so definitely a high risk, high reward type Pokemon. I'd say try it out, but only at your own risk. And then finally, we got the rock throw Pokemon to consider here. We got Clauncher, we got Slugma, and they're using heavy rock fast move damage onto the Ducklett here. That's the name of the game when it comes to these Pokemon. The main reason why you'd consider using Clauncher instead of Slugma here is that Clauncher can tolerate a Bubble Beam should Ducklett try to bait or hit with a Bubble Beam on the Clauncher, and then you also have a better matchup against the Seel there because you resist its hits. However, personally, I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards Slugma, and the main reason why is because Slugma has Rock Slide. So when you do come out of that matchup that you dominate against, Ducklett or a fire-type Pokemon, and they bring in a grass-type Pokemon or maybe a Chinchou, well, Clauncher only has water-type charge moves to throw at them, which is resisted. When you have Rock Slide, they either have to take mass damage, possibly even get one-shot, or they have to shield it. So I feel like Slugma can get a shield after its big farm down. Clauncher doesn't really have that kind of opportunity that often, and that puts Slugma ahead in my mind. Now, when it comes to your battles in the Element Cup, one big tip that I want you to keep in the back of your mind is that swap advantage isn't everything in this type of format. Basically, because your HP pools are so small, a lot of fast move damage can take you out, and basically any charge move will probably be dealing about 50% damage to your Pokemon. So for that reason, maintaining like shield advantage and trying to get energy leads by farming stuff down, that's probably going to be the name of the game in the Element Cup, more so than the hard rock, paper, scissors type matchups. Like Chinchou's Thunderbolt, for example, can deal about 30 to 40% HP to grass type Pokemon, which is pretty big. Like you'd think it'd be nothing, but that's actually quite a bit. And then when it comes to Ducklett's like Brave Bird, I think it does nearly 50% damage, maybe a little bit more to the Chinchou there, which is also pretty heavy for a resisted attack. So even though these Pokemon do have counters and, one thing hard counters another thing, because the charge moves deal so much damage and because the HP pools are so small, you gotta be a little bit careful when it comes to spending your shields in the Element Cup there. Try not to worry about swap advantage as much, because at the end of the day, you could just plow through your opponent in the endgame with basically anything, as so long as you're up a shield. And that wraps it up for the Element Cup Simplified here. I hope this video has helped you navigate the Element Cup a little bit more easily. And of course, if you want even more canned teams, or you want to see some of the teams I described here featured in a battle video, well, make sure to subscribe to SwagTips. I do have that video coming out either later today or tomorrow. Of course, if you got any questions on this content, comment below, let me know what's up, and I'll be happy to help you out. And if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more like it, well, make sure to subscribe to SwagTips. I'd also like to give a special shout out to these patron supporters. If you want to support Swagman on Patreon, link in the description. And then you also have fire-type Pokemon, and yeah, you're a water type, so you beat those guys too. So Apex Predator Pokemon,